That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
July 20th marks the 49th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing.
Buzz is erecting the solar wind experiment now.
Only a dozen astronauts have walked on the surface of the moon, all of them Americans. And of those 12, only 4 are still alive. Here are the Moon Men. From the first lunar mission, Apollo 11, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin set foot on the satellite.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Armstrong retired from NASA in 1971.
Long ago, I learned that all engineering is a matter of designing machines to solve problems.
He served as a corporate spokesman for several businesses. Though he had a reputation for being reclusive, he did speak at public events, host a science series, and teach college. Armstrong died in 2012 at age 82. Buzz Aldrin, the second man on the moon, has kept a higher public profile. He's been an outspoken advocate for space exploration, including manned missions to Mars.
It was the challenge to do something surpassing the Russians.
A popular guest on the talk show circuit, he even appeared on Dancing with the Stars in 2010. At age 86, he became the oldest person to reach the South Pole. Aldrin recently was in the news for a legal dispute with his children. Buzz Aldrin is 88 years old and lives in Florida. Pete Conrad was the third person to walk on the moon in November 1969 as part of Apollo 12. He retired from NASA in 1973 and worked in business. He died in 1999 at age 69 after a motorcycle crash in California. Conrad's Apollo 12 crewmate Alan Bean, the fourth man on the moon. He later logged over 1,600 hours in space. After retiring from NASA in 1981, he became a painter. He incorporated pieces from his spacesuit patches into his paintings. Alan Bean died in Texas in May of 2018 at the age of 86. Alan Shepard walked on the moon in February 1971 as part of Apollo 14. After retiring from NASA in 1974, he worked in banking and real estate, served on nonprofit boards, and founded what would later become the Astronaut Scholarship Foundation. In 1998, he died of leukemia in California at age 74. Edgar Mitchell set foot on the moon as Shepard's Apollo 14 crewmate. After retiring from NASA in 1972, he helped found the Institute of Noetic Sciences, which researches ESP and other psychic phenomena. Mitchell died in Florida in 2016 at age 85.
Reminds me of Sun Valley.
Apollo 15 astronaut David Scott walked on the moon in July and August of 1971. He retired from NASA in 1977 and has written and served as a consultant for books and documentaries about the space program. He lives in Los Angeles, California. James Irwin also trod the moon's surface as part of Apollo 15. He retired from NASA in 1972 and founded the High Flight Foundation, a Christian religious outreach organization. Irwin died of a heart attack in 1971 at the age of 61. He was the first of the moon men to die. Apollo 16 astronaut John Young made his moonwalk in April 1972. He later flew missions on the Space Shuttle Columbia and spent over 40 years with NASA. He retired in 2004. Young died in Texas in January 2018 at the age of 87. The 10th man on the moon was Charles Duke, who joined Young on the Apollo 16 moonwalk.
Duke drilled a hole into which a heat flow probe was to be placed, part of one of the experiments attached to the station.
Duke retired from NASA in 1975 and became active in prison ministry. Now 82, he lives in Texas and serves as chairman of the board of the Astronaut Scholarship Foundation. Apollo 17's EUGENE CERNAN was the penultimate man on the moon in December of 1972.
My golly, this time goes fast.
He retired from NASA in 1976 and worked in private industry. He also served as a commentator for Good Morning America.
One thing that I remember very vividly was something that was said that came home very close to me. If you think it's difficult going to the moon, you ought to try staying home.
CERNAN died in Texas in January 2017 at 82 years old. The 12th person on the moon was Apollo 17's Harrison Schmitt. Schmitt retired from NASA in 1975. He represented New Mexico in the U.S. Senate as a Republican for one term, starting in 1976. He also taught at the university level and served as a business consultant. Now 83, he lives in New Mexico.
And the prime crew now departing from their crew quarters.
These are the only humans who have been to the moon. No one has traveled further from the Earth.
30 seconds. 30 seconds. Forward.
And many wonder when, if ever, people will travel so far again.